Well, one of them has to do with this guy. This is Dave Ramsey. Maybe you know Dave Ramsey. Maybe you don't know Dave Ramsey personally. We used to teach for Dave Ramsey.
Hey, chickie chickies.
Hi, chicks. We're coming through.
Hey, little one. Hey.
The chicks think they own the place. Hello. So it's our Sunday, and on Sunday we do reverent things. So today we'd like to talk about a concept that is very dear to our heart. I think the birds are going to make it a little noisy. Shall we go for a walk?
Let's go for a walk.
Okay. So when we put together our business of the things that we wanted to do for Heartiness Approach, we realized that there are some principles that are very strong and very dear to us. And so as we looked at that, we realized, well, one of them has to do with this guy. This is Dave Ramsey. Maybe you know Dave Ramsey. Maybe you don't know Dave Ramsey personally. We used to teach for Dave Ramsey, and then we taught at our church several different classes on getting out of debt. What was our first class like?
It was pretty amazing, actually. We taught it. The one we taught in our home, we had 6 couples, 7 couples, something like that. And they were all pretty much our age, and within the church, we're encouraged to be frugal, thrifty, not go into debt. And in this group, and these were very involved people,
Successful.
very successful people. And we, between these, there were 6, right? Between the 6 of us, there was over $700,000 in debt. And that's not counting mortgages.
So we had an eye-opener, and the 6 couples, went through all the lessons together of Dave Ramsey and made some really strong goals and worked to get out of debt. And we got almost completely out of debt.
Yeah, there were
huge amount.
A couple of them got out of debt, and all the rest of them got well on the way.
So we mentioned in our introductory one that we've gotten back into some debt because of living without a job for a while, or the way...
We've got lots of excuses.
Yeah, we have lots of excuses. And so we're putting together our business, and last week I was like nagging. And whenever I go by and I see Dave Ramsey's book, I've hit it. It doesn't exist anymore. If I don't look at it, I don't have to answer to him.
Ostrich head in the sand syndrome. It doesn't work, by the way.
Anyway, so you've got a plant in front of your face.
I know. Can we change that around there? There we go. That's better. Now you can see my mug.
So we decided. Actually, you didn't. You weren't part of it. I just decided I've got to pull Dave Ramsey out and be able to look him back in the eye. Well, so he has 7 baby steps. Which are?
He does. And I'm sorry I don't have him. Whoops, that's not his. Eat real food is not one of his baby steps. His 7 baby steps are: number 1, save $1,000. This is an emergency fund. As quick as you can, find a way. Sell everything that you don't need, essentially. Number 2, pay off your debt. That's a big one. That might take a little while. Step 1 should happen rapidly because you need to have an emergency fund. Step number 3 is to take the emergency fund to 3 to 6 months. So you have 3 to 6 months worth of living expenses covered. Step number 4, you begin investing 15% of your income into IRAs and other
Roths.
other smart investments. Step 5, if you have kids, you're saving for college. I can't remember his substitute for that if you didn't have kids. It's probably
Help your grandkids.
help your grandkids, putting back for a rainy day, that type of thing. Step number 6, you pay off your home, get your mortgage paid off. Step number 7, then you're going to
Build your wealth and give.
build your wealth and give.
Give. So I thought, well, okay, we'll do baby step 1 in about 2 months
Or so. Now, here's the other thing. Got to keep this in mind. We've had a rather small shovel because we've been focused on getting some business going, getting the what we're doing here to provide our own food and our homestead going.
Lots of excuses.
But we've had a small shovel essentially for getting ourselves out of debt and taking care of our monthly expenses. And we came to a realization that that's not working for us, that the things that we wanted to accomplish aren't happening as rapidly as we like them to, and that's a reality. So we needed a bigger shovel. So I started working, which made our shovel bigger.
Yep, and he's working from home, so it's really nice. So when I thought we could do it in 2 months, all of a sudden I said, we can do it next week. And he said, you mean we can start it? I says, no, we can finish baby step 1 next week.
And hopefully the surprises stay away so that we can stay there with that emergency fund.
And then baby step 2 is to pay off the debt in snowballs. And we have got it all written down, all seeing the months that they're all going to be paid off. Not only are we getting step number 1, but we're doing 1 payoff of the bills this month. We know that we're putting ourselves way out there because there's people we know that know us on this.
What we don't want to project is our best self that everybody can compare their worst self to. We have challenges like everyone else, and we don't want to have people thinking that it's different, that somehow we're special. We've got so much going on. Of course it's easy for us.
It's not easy for us. We're so determined to be able to make this work. So walk with us.
Yeah, come with us a little more.
Let's go show them what we're doing with our garden.
Oh, okay.
Our gardening is very important to us, being able to have our chickens and eggs. Today after church, we were able to give eggs to 2 different families that we knew needed it. And so that's really important to us to be able to give.
Now, we'd love to have enough customers that all of our eggs were getting sold. That hasn't happened yet. We're still working on that. That takes a while to develop that. But in the meantime, we've got eggs to give.
Okay, let's turn and show them this beautiful. We now have 120 feet, 2 rows of 60, plus 10 down there.
Now, be honest though. One of the rows we haven't dug up the rocks and got the topsoil all taken care of. We still got a bit of work to do on that.
Which one?
That one over there.
Just about. Just the last 10 feet.
We got more. It's more than 10 feet, but we got most of it.
Maybe 15. All right. So, one of the things that Dave Ramsey talks about is to be able to do things with gazelle intensity. And first of all, highly recommend him. If you can get a course, go to any church, anywhere.
If you're looking to get out of debt, he's the solution. There are others that may work. His definitely works. No doubt about it.
Definitely works. And go online and look him up, and you'll get all kinds of information about him. Now, one of the things that Dave Ramsey does, that he has a syndicated talk show that's on several different channels all across the entire nation.
If you don't know him, where have you been?
Anyway, he never deviates on his answers. Oh, but Dave, what about this? Same baby steps. Oh, but what about this situation? Same baby steps. And we want you to know something. I'm going to dip down. We feel just as strong about our 7 degrees of change. And so we went over his baby steps. We're going to go over our 7 degrees of change.
You know, you mentioned something about gazelles, and I don't know where you were going with that.
Well, a gazelle does things very quickly. They are extremely fast.
Well, but not as fast as some other animals.
Not as fast as
gazelles.
lions.
The only defense a gazelle has is to run. So they have to be fast. Their biggest predator is the cheetah. which can run faster than they can, by the way.
Right. And so
So when a cheetah goes after a gazelle, if a gazelle is going to live, it's got to be intense. It's also always got to be watching for the cheetahs, and when one shows up, it's got to be gone. The slowest gazelle is dinner.
this is true. Cool. So one of our other sayings that we said all the time when we taught this
But
class.
how does that apply? You brought it up. I'm just trying to stay focused on it here.
Okay, so take all of the things that we've learned from Dave Ramsey and getting out of debt and apply it with gazelle intensity, and then we'll get out of
If you're
debt.
going to survive, you got to go for as if it's for your life. That's the point. I mean, you're the slowest gazelle out there, and the cheetah's going to get you if you don't get out of the way. Right?
Right. Are we done?
You brought it up. We had to finish it. So we
No,
got.
I'm really glad you did. There's just one more saying I wanted to say that we always said, which is like that.
If you always. Oh, okay. The saying that we used a lot, and this isn't a Dave Ramsey saying. This is something we brought up. If you always do what you've always done, you'll always get what you always got.
So you got to change the way you've been living, which brings us to the 7 degrees of change. Our goal, let's walk.
Go ahead. Our goal.
Our goal is to live a life that we're calm, comfortable, relaxed, being able to make things be really wonderful for ourselves and for our family. That's everybody's goal. Oh, you just plunk us down. I'm standing in a lot of grass.
Wow, we got a lot of down timber here.
You'd think we had a windstorm.
Okay. Did you lose your place?
Yeah, I lost my place. Okay, got it. So we're not doing this just to do this. We're doing this because we feel really, really strong about it. So number 1 on our degree of the 7 degrees of change is to eat real food. Number 2 is to eliminate processed food. Number 3 is to control your social eating. Can't wait to get into that one. Number 4 is to
Well, no, that's not fair.
exercise.
Oh, yeah, that's why she's saying you're supposed to exercise. Build up those muscles. Get your cardiovascular going. You got to do it. Got to do it. Whew, really got to do it.
Number 5 is to be emotionally well.
We're working at that one.
And that is why we made some changes in our life this week.
Yep.
We really did. We had to look and downsize a few things and gave up something really, really good in order to do that. But we have had to do that.
Yep.
And number 6 is to homestead. And by homestead, we mean grow your own food as much as you can. Grow your chickens, get turkeys like we did.
And if you can't do it yourself, find out where you can get food you can trust.
Yep. And number 7 is having the
Pay it forward.
pay.
Do that again.
And number 7 is pay it forward. So just as Dave Ramsey wants you to have enough wealth that you can give, we want you to be able to teach other people this. Everybody that you love, teach them, because the importance is you'll be healthier, you can get rid of the illnesses that come with aging that are age acquired, not necessary to have.
And you'll be more capable at helping folks. You're not going to have those days when you don't feel like you can do anything. You'll probably find you have not only the energy, but the time to help more.
So, we want you to get out of debt and
Get healthy.
And live the Heartiness Approach lifestyle.